One more time. Good, good. The second one is a gunshot. So when I cue like this, I need you all to say bang. Okay, ready? Ready?
Yes!
Bang!
Whoa.
Bang!
And for those with the automatics, beautiful! And now, ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, don't forget your cues, and enjoy The Thin Man.
Welcome to the Long Beach Playhouse. Presentation of Lux Radio Theater, The Thin Man. This presentation is part of the Long Beach Gives annual fundraiser. You can donate to the Playhouse by going to longbeachgives.org and select Long Beach Playhouse in the drop-down menu. This afternoon, our cast includes longtime members of the Long Beach Playhouse family. Skip Glass, Gigi Fusco-Meese, Tara Taylor-Knudsen, John Sturgeon, Bob Pace, Carl De Silva, Roxy Martinez, and Mitchell Nunn. We're in a fashionable cafe, the Moment in New York City. It's Christmas Eve and the well-appointed dining room is filling rapidly. From a bar, a good-looking young fellow, about 35 tall, casual and worldly wise. He's Nick Charles, a well-known private detective, and he's waiting for his charming wife, Nora. As he takes his place at a table, a young girl on the other side of the room recognizes him and hurries over.
Aren't you Mr. Nick Charles, the detective?
I am. Yes, I'm Nick Charles.
Oh, I thought I recognized you. My name is Dorothy Wynant.
Oh, yes. How do you do?
Do you mind if I sit down with you for a while?
No, but I expect my wife in a few minutes, if you don't mind explaining your presence to her.
Oh, of course. That's my fiancé.
Oh, well,
right over there at the other table.
That makes everything all right, doesn't it? Sit down.
Thank you.
Your name is,
Dorothy Wynant. I'm Clyde Wynant's daughter.
Clyde Wynant. Oh, yes, of course. Your father was having some trouble with one of his inventions a few years ago. I handled a case for him.
Yes, I know. That's why I wanted to speak to you now.
Well, I'm not practicing anymore, Miss Wynant. You see, I'm retired.
Please, Mr. Charles, I need you.
Oh, what seems to be the trouble?
It's Dad. He went away about 3 months ago, and I haven't heard from him. Not a word. I'm worried sick.
Oh, I wouldn't worry if I were you. After all, he's an inventor. When he gets an idea he wants to work on, it's only natural that he should hide away somewhere. He's done it before.
Yes, but never for 3 months.
Did you see him before he left?
No. Mr. McCulley is the only one he spoke to. Well, McCulley and Julia Wolfe. She's Dad's secretary.
Julia Wolfe. Oh, yes, I believe I met her. And Macaulay is your father's lawyer, isn't he?
Yes.
His lawyer and his secretary both speak to him before he leaves, but nobody knows where he went.
He wouldn't tell them.
What about your mother? You wouldn't tell her either?
No, Mother and Dad aren't... Well, they haven't seen each other for some time.
Oh, I see. Well, I don't know just what I can do for you. Why don't you speak to Macaulay? Maybe he's heard from your father and forgotten to let you know.
Oh, well, I'll call him right now.
That's a girl. Let me know how well it turns out, will you?
Of course. I'll be back in a few minutes.
I'll be here.
Asta! Mr. Computer! Back here
Madam,
this
you-
instant!
Madam, you can't let that dog in here. Dogs aren't allowed. I'm sorry.
I'll get him. Asta, come here, boy. Here, down, boy, down.
Madam, it isn't only your dog. If we allow
Oh,
everyone...
here you are.
Asta, quiet, boy. But hello, Nora. I hear you brought the dog.
I didn't bring him, he brought me. I think the doorman's mad at me.
Madam, I'm afraid you'll have to take the dog outside.
It's all right, Joe. It's my dog, and it's my wife.
Well, you might have mentioned me first.
But Mr. Charles, are you sure that...
Of course I'm sure. He's well trained. He'll behave himself.
I know, but he might bite someone.
No, only me, Joe. He only bites me.
Yes, he's fussy about what he eats.
Go ahead, Joe. I'll be responsible for him.
Very well, sir. If you say so, sir.
There you are, my dear. See what an influential husband you've got.
Well, you do have a certain standing with the doorman.
Oh, Mr. Charles!
Oh, yes, Dorothy?
Oh, may I introduce my fiance, Andy Reed, Mr. Charles?
How do you do?
How do you do, sir?
Any luck, Dorothy?
Yes, he's just around the corner.
Your father?
No, Mr. McCully.
We're going to see him now.
Oh, fine, fine.
Nick.
Oh, yes, my dear. Oh, I beg your pardon. Miss Wynant, Mr. Reed, my wife.
How do you do?
How do you do? I'm so sorry, we have to rush, but you'll excuse me, Mrs. Charles?
Of course.
We're staying at the Normandy for a couple of weeks. Why don't you drop around?
Oh, thanks, we will. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, sir. Goodbye, Mrs. Charles.
Goodbye. Pretty girl.
If you like blondes.
You've got a type?
Only you, darling. Lanky brunettes with wicked jaws.
Who is she?
I was hoping I wouldn't have to tell you. Dorothy's really my daughter. You see, it was spring in Venice, and I was so young, I didn't know what I was doing. We're all like that on my father's side.
By the way, how is your father's side?
Much better, thanks.
So, who is she really, Nicky?
Dorothy Wynant, daughter of Clyde Wynant. I was working on a case for her father. Some nut wanted to kill him.
Charming. Well, what's the matter now?
Wynant's disappeared. Dorothy's afraid something's happened to him.
Has anything happened to him?
My darling wife, how do I know? Funny though, that secretary of his ought to know something.
Secretaries usually do. Who is she?
Julia Wolf, smart girl, Julia. Always suspected she had some kind of hold on Wynant. Well, that's why he kept her on.
Maybe you ought to give her a ring.
What for?
Oh, just to say hello.
Maybe.
Want a nickel?
No, I've got one. I'll be right back. This phone's not working. Ah, there we go. Hello, I want Skylar, 40962. No, Skylar, that's right, 40962.
Hello? Yes, Julia Wolf speaking. Who? Oh, well, hello, Mr. Charles. Yes. Well, what is it that you wanted to... Oh, no, I don't. He didn't tell me. Not a word. I'm sorry. That's all right. Goodbye. Morelli!
Coming. Well, who was that?
Nick Charles.
The detective?
He wanted to know where Wynant was.
Oh, yeah? What?
He didn't say.
But did anyone see Wynant come here that night? The night that you and him had a scrap?
I don't know.
Oh, no. Well, I better scram myself.
Wait a minute, Morelli, where you going?
Oh, I'm taking a little stroll, that's all. If Nick Charles is going to pop up around here, I want to be far away when he does.
Oh, don't be a fool, Morelli.
Fool, huh? Hey, listen, sister, I got a record, and I ain't itching to come face to face with no dick.
Sit down, Morelli. You need money, don't you?
Sure, what about it? You got some?
Plenty. I'm Wynant's secretary.
Oh, yeah? What do you mean by that?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yes. Lovely cafe. Your friends serve good dinners, Nick.
Yeah, they're all right.
You still didn't tell me what Julia Wolf had to say.
Nothing. She didn't know where he was, that's all. Finished?
Finish.
Let's get out. We'll grab a cab and go back to the hotel.
Uh-huh. How many drinks have you had?
6 martinis.
Oh, waiter, 6 martinis. You're not going to have anything on me.
Later on.
What hit me?
The last martini.
Ring, ring.
Hello? Asa? Be quiet. Stop it. Hello? Yes. Who is it? Oh, his. I see. Thank you.
Who is it?
It's Mr. McCauley. He's on his way up.
Macaulay? I wonder what he wants.
Isn't he Wynant's lawyer?
Yes.
Maybe he's got some news.
Well, he ought to. Say, you're worrying an awful lot about this business. Forget it.
I'll open it.
Begging your pardon, ma'am. I was wondering.
I'm Mrs. Charles. Come in, Mr. McCauley.
Hello, Macaulay.
Hello, Charles. How are you?
Fine, sit down.
Thanks. Dorothy told me you were here. I took the liberty of coming to see you.
Of course.
Charles, what's Mimi up to?
Oh, Dorothy's mother. Does she have something to be up to?
She usually is. Trying one way or another to get money out of Wynant. I wanted to find out if you were, sleuthing for her.
I haven't been a detective for years.
You don't say.
My wife's father died and left her a lumber mill and a narrow gauge railroad and a couple of other things. And I'm looking after them.
I see. I see.
Well, what's all this fuss about? Is Wynant in hiding?
You know as much about it as I do. I haven't seen him in 3 months. He sends word through Julia Wolf when he wants money. I give it to her, and she gives it to him.
Ring, 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 ring.
My. Hello? Oh, just a moment. It's for you, Mr. McCauley, your office.
Thank you. Hello? What? He is? Well, where is he? Very well.
Click.
Well, he's back in town.
Mr. Wynant?
Yes, thank heaven. He's waiting for me now. Well, I've got to be off. It's no joke working for a man like that. Goodbye, Mrs. Charles. Goodbye, Charles.
Long.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
Gong. 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 Gong.
Lost count?
Let's just say it's 11:30. It's lovely, isn't it? It's almost Christmas, darling.
If that's a hit, you can drop it. Get your breakfast and not a minute before.
Cheat. You know, Nicky, that I've been thinking. It's funny the way Wynant popped up all of a sudden.
Yes, wasn't it?
You think there's anything behind it?
Why should there be?
I don't know. Just strikes me as funny, that's all.
Ring, ring.
You're nearer than I am, darling.
Hello? Speaking. Hello, Dorothy. Oh, yes. Well, yes, of course I'll be there. Click. Click.
What is it, darling? Darling, what is it?
Julia Wolf has been murdered.
You are watching The Thin Man, presented by the Long Beach Playhouse as part of Long Beach Gives. You can donate to the Playhouse by going to longbeachgives.org and select the Long Beach Playhouse in the drop-down menu. And now, let's hear about Lux Toilet Soap.
Dun, 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 dun. You good.
Ah, yes, we're in the library. That would be me. We're in the lobby of the Roosevelt Hotel, where stars and newcomers gather. A young actress breaking into the pictures is telling a friend of her success.
Laura, here's one thing. I've got one of the best managers in Hollywood, and that means a lot. Oh, but the rules he's laid down on me.
Teen, what do you mean, rules?
Well, you'd think I was going into training for the Olympics. I've got to lose 5 pounds. I've got to take lessons in singing and diction. And of course, my complexion has got to be perfect. I've got to be more careful than ever not to get little blemishes or large pores and something they call cosmetic skin. Oh, thank goodness I use Lux regularly, the way everyone around here does.
And now, on with The Thin Man. An hour has gone since Nick heard about the murder of Julia Wolf. In the living room of their suite at the hotel, Nick and Nora are listening to the radio. A news reporter is broadcasting the latest development in the case.
And here's the latest news in the Julia Wolf murder. The police have found out that the beautiful blonde secretary was a gangster's girl and is spreading the dragnet for one Joe Morelli, said to be hiding out somewhere in the city. In Paris, today, the Chamber of Deputies...
Never mind the Chamber of Deputies. Joe Morelli, that's what I want to know about. Well, did you get any information out of headquarters?
As much as they had. Julia Wolf was shot and killed about 9 or 9:30. Body discovered on the floor of the living room a little after 11.
Who discovered it?
That'll surprise you. Mimi Wynant.
Dorothy's mother?
Yeah,
Well, what was she doing
I
there?
don't know.
Where's Clyde Wynant?
Still missing?
Missing? But Macaulay was going to see him. They had an appointment.
I spoke to Macaulay. Wynant never showed up. Nobody knows where he is.
It's going to be pretty tough on Dorothy, isn't it?
Why?
It's very nearly looks as if Clyde Wynant skipped one appointment to keep another with Julia Wolf.
You think he killed her?
Oh, it's just a guess. Anyway, it sounds like an interesting case. Wouldn't you like to take it?
I haven't the time. I'm much too busy seeing that you don't lose any of the money I married you for.
But it sounds like a good case. Girl mysteriously murdered. They haven't found any clues yet. No gun, no fingerprints.
I wonder if that... Oh, I don't want to hear anything about it.
Isn't that my drink?
What are you drinking?
Dry.
Yep, that's yours. That's Dorothy. She said she wanted to see me.
Oh,
Wow, come in, Dorothy.
Thank you. Is anyone here?
Just Nora, how to see.
hello, Dorothy.
Hi, I'm so sorry for breaking in on you like this.
That's all right. We're used to it.
Anything wrong?
Just, Julia Wolf is dead.
Yes, we know that.
Oh, wait. Smooth.
Here's the gun she was shot with.
What are you trying to tell me? That you did it?
Yes. She kept me from seeing my father, and I went down there to ask her where he was. She wouldn't tell me, so I shot her
Where'd you hit her?
in the heart.
Pretty good shot you are. What did she do?
She fell down.
Did she make any sound? Didn't scream?
I don't know.
Which way did she fall?
She fell over backwards.
Oh yeah? People fall toward a shot, you know, not back from it. I knew you were lying. Now come on, straighten up. Where did you get this gun?
I bought it at a pawn shop.
I thought so. Why did you say you did it? Whom were you trying to shield?
Oh, please don't ask me.
You've got to tell me.
Nick, let me have this, will you? Dorothy, look at me. Nick is just trying to help you. Why don't you help him? You were trying to shield your mother, weren't you?
No.
Your father then? Dorothy,
Yes, my father.
why do you think he did it?
Mother was the first one to find Julia Wolf. She found something in Julia's hand, and she took it.
Oh, what was it?
A watch chain. It belonged to my father.
So you think your father did it?
I don't know.
Did your mother turn the chain over to the police?
No, she kept it. She didn't tell anyone about it.
But she showed it to you.
Yes?
Well, why did your mother go to Julia Wolf's apartment in the first place?
She went to ask for money.
Ring, 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 ring.
Oh, money again, huh? Yeah? Have them come up, please.
Who is it?
Dorothy, I wonder if you wouldn't mind waiting in the bedroom.
Oh, of course.
It'll only be a minute.
Well, Nick?
It's Mimi Wynant.
Alone?
She's never alone. Dorothy's brother is with her, screwy college kid, and some guy by the name of Chris Jorgensen.
Jorgensen? Who's he?
Macaulay told me about him, and a hanger-on type. I think he's after Mimi's dough.
But she hasn't any.
Maybe that's why she wanted to get some from Julia. I'll get it. Hello.
Nick, how are you?
Fine. Come in, Mimi.
Oh, thank you. This is my son, Gilbert.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
And this is Chris Jorgensen. He's an old friend of mine.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Sit down. Sit down. My wife.
Oh, how do you do?
Mrs. Wynant, Gilbert Wynant, and Chris Jorgensen.
How do you do?
Well, Mimi?
Nick, I've never been in such a state in my life. You know, of course, that I was the one who found Julia Wolf.
So we've heard.
Oh, my dear, it was terrible. I walked in and there she was, lying dead on the floor.
I meant to ask you, Mother, was there much blood?
Gilbert, don't be so morbid.
Yes, but I'm interested in murder. You know, Mr. Charles, I have a theory about this one already.
That's so?
Yes, in my opinion, the man who did it...
Gilbert, be quiet. You don't know anything about it.
That's what I do.
Be quiet.
You were saying, Mrs. Weiner?
About finding Julia Wolf? I was simply petrified. And such a mystery. Clyde Winans crazy, absolutely crazy to stay away at a time like this. No wonder the police think he has something to do with it.
What do you think?
Oh, I know he didn't, but I wish I could find him. I have something very important to tell him. Macaulay won't help at all. He thinks I just want money.
Well, don't you?
Oh, Nick, you're always teasing.
Mrs. Weiner, were you alone when you found Julia Wolf?
Well, of course I was.
Wasn't Mr. Jorgensen with you?
Certainly not. I don't know anything about it. The first word I heard that Julia Wolf was dead was when Mrs. Wynant called me at the club.
Oh, she called you?
Yes.
Why?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, let's not even talk about it. The thing to do is to find Clyde. And that's why I've come for Nick. You will help me find Clyde, won't you?
I'm afraid I can't, Mimi.
Oh, Nick, please.
Now, Mimi, there are thousands of detectives in New York. Hire one of them.
But he knows you. All you have to do is get in touch with him and tell him that Mimi says everything is all right, but that I've got to see him.
I tell you again, I don't want a part of it.
Is that final?
Fine.
Well, if that's the way you feel.
He'll turn up. You just help all you can. Give the police every possible assistance.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, nothing in particular.
Oh, well, we'll say goodnight.
Good night. Sorry I can't help you, Mimi.
Hello? Is this Normandy Hotel? I want to speak to Mr. Charles. Yeah, Nick Charles. Hello, Mr. Charles. Say, I'm sorry I woke you up, but, Mr. Charles, I'd like to lay a little proposition before you. It's about the murder of Julia Wolf. Well, what difference does it make who I am? Wait a minute. All right, wait a minute. Don't hang up. I'll tell you who I am, but you've got to keep it under your hat. I am Al Nunheim. Yeah, Nunheim. Now listen, I know who murdered Julia Wolf, see? Sure I do. And I'll spill it to you for $5,000. I'll tell you how I know, because I was outside her apartment when she was shot. I saw the one who did it. And I'll spill it to you when I get my... Hey, wait a minute. Hey, I can't talk now. I'll call you again.
Hello? 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 You still there? Hello? Oh, for the love of Mike.
Now what, darling?
I don't know. Some crank, I guess. He hung up. Now you better get back to bed and get some sleep.
Nick, are you asleep?
Yes.
Good. I want to talk to you.
That's John.
Don't you think you'd like to go back to detecting once in a while? I mean, just for the fun of it?
Can't you get to sleep?
No.
Maybe a drink will help you.
No thanks.
Maybe if I took it.
Everyone says you are a grand detective.
They were kidding you.
I'd like to see you work.
Tomorrow I'll buy you a whole lot of detective stories.
That poor girl's in an awful spot.
There's nothing I can do to help her.
She thinks you can. It wouldn't hurt you to find out if you could, wouldn't it?
Darling, my guess is that Wynant killed Julia and Dorothy knows it. And the police will catch him without my help.
I think I would like that drink. I'll give you your Christmas present now if you give me mine.
At breakfast.
But it's Christmas now.
Breakfast.
What are you going to give me? I hope I don't like it.
No, you'll have to keep it anyhow. The man at the aquarium said he wouldn't take it back. Now, please put out the light. I'm tired.
Oh, all right. But I'm mad at you.
Mm-hmm.
Nick!
Hmm?
Did you hear that knock?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shut up, Asta! You attend answer it, Nick?
Oh, good Lord.
All right, stay in bed. I'll do it myself. Well,
Mr. Charles here.
yes.
I gotta talk to him right away.
What about?
What's going on? What's going on?
There's someone here to see you, Nick.
Oh, that's great. I was afraid I'd have to go to sleep.
Yeah.
How about a chair, Mr.
Stay where you are, both of you. I got you covered, so don't move.
A stick-up?
No, it ain't a stick-up, but I gotta talk to you, Mr. Charles. I want you to tell me something, and I want you to give it to me straight. Get me?
Do you mind putting that gun away? My wife doesn't care, but I'm in a delicate condition, you know. All right, shoot. I mean, what's on your mind?
Well, you don't need to tell me you're tough. I've heard about you. I'm Joe Morelli.
I've never heard about you.
I didn't knock Julia off.
All right, you didn't.
I haven't seen her in 3 months. We was all washed up.
Why tell me?
I wouldn't have any reason to hurt her. She always on the up and up with me, but that dirty little Nunheim, he got sore because I clicked with her and he didn't, so he put the finger on me.
That's swell. Only you're peddling your fish in the wrong market. I've got nothing to do with it.
Listen, Sudsy Burke told me you used to be okay. That's why I'm here. Do they have
How
any?
is Sudsy? I didn't know he was out of stir.
Oh, he's all right. He'd like to see you. Yeah, but listen, I'm doing. What's the law doing to me? Do they think I did it, or are they just something else they want to pin on me?
I'd tell you if I knew, but I'm not in this. Ask the police.
Oh, that'd be very smart. Yeah, that's the smartest thing I ever did. Yeah, me. And the police captain who's been in the hospital for 3 weeks on account of we had an argument. The boys would love to have me come in and ask questions, like it right down to the end of their blackjacks. Yeah. Now I come to see you on the level. Sudsy says you're on the level, so be on the level.
I am on the level. If I knew anything,
What's that?
I don't know. This is your party.
Open up! Police!
Police? Ah, you dirty two-timing.
Nick, look out!
Bang!
Come on.
Bang!
Much better.
I'll take that gun.
Thanks, officer. You almost had me.
Get some water, Sergeant.
Nora, are you all right, Nora?
I'm Inspector Guild at the Homicide Bureau.
You're in a good place, Inspector.
So, that woman on the floor,
My wife?
this guy shot her?
No, he tried to shoot me. I slapped her on the jaw to get her out of the line of fire. I guess I hit her too hard.
Oh,
Look at me, Nora. Are you all right, darling?
you darn fool! You didn't have to knock me out. I knew you'd take him, but I wanted to see you do it.
She's all right.
That's a gal with hair on her chest. Okay, Slattery, take Morelli downstairs.
Don't push. Come on. I said don't push.
How'd you people happen to pop in?
Yeah, here this is getting to be sort of a meeting place for the Wynette family. So we figured we'd stick around in case the old man himself shows. Then we seen Morelli sneak in and we decided to come up. And pretty lucky for you.
Yes, I might not have been shot.
Morelli, he a friend of yours?
Never saw him before.
What's he want for you?
Wanted to tell me he didn't kill Julia Wolf.
What's that to you?
Nothing.
Well, why do you think it was to you?
Ask him. I don't know.
I'm asking you.
Keep on asking.
Oh, so you're gonna keep mum, huh? All right, Mr. Charles. I won't bother you tonight. But I'll be in tomorrow morning, and I'll have plenty of things to ask. Good night.
Thank you, Inspector Guild. Next time you come, try to stay longer.
Where's Asta? Asta! You're a fine watchdog.
Well, he's got more sense than you have. Thank heaven you're not on this case.
On it? I'm in it. They think I did it.
Well, didn't you?
Come here, you.
Nick. Nick!
Hmm?
Wake up, it's Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Look, here's a telegram for you. It just came.
Open it, will you? Probably a touch from somebody. Well,
Nick!
what is it?
It's from Clyde Wyman. Now listen. Will you take charge of investigation on Julia Wolf murder? Communicate with Herbert Macaulay, Clyde Wyman.
Where's it from?
Philadelphia. Then he didn't do it, did he, Nick?
I don't know. Communicate with Macaulay, huh? All right, we'll ask him up here this morning. Oh, there you are, Macaulay. What do you think?
So he wants to handle this case, huh? Well, what are the chances of getting you to do what he wants?
Well, Slim,
Oh, please, Nick.
quiet, dear.
I wish you would, Mr. Charles. Would it help any if I could persuade him to meet you?
It might.
I got word from Winan himself last night. He gave me a code message to insert in the Times in case I wanted to get in touch with him.
It wouldn't hurt to put it in.
I'm sure you could clear this up. He should appear, you know. It doesn't look well, his staying away at a time like this.
Ring, ring, ring.
Yes? Oh. Just a minute. It's for you, Mr. Macaulay. Police department.
Police department? Hello? Where? In Allentown? Yes. When is the next train? All right, I'll get that.
Well,
Winan's trying to commit suicide. They want me to come down and identify him. Well, I guess this changes the whole story, doesn't it? This looks like an admission of guilt. And I had such hopes. I thought if you got on the case, you'd be able to clear him. I thought that Mimi, the way she acted, I was sure that... Oh, well. Yeah, well, it's no use thinking about it now. I'm sorry to have wasted so much of your time. You'll excuse me, won't you?
of course.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, that's that.
What's the matter with you?
The mystery's all gone, and I wanted to find out who did it.
Maybe I will.
But why not?
I don't believe he did it.
Why don't you?
No reason, just a hunch. But I'm going to find out. Come on, Watson. We're going places. I want to talk to Inspector Guild. Guild, you're looking good today.
Man to man, Mr. Charles, are you working on this case?
Man to man, I'm not.
But he's interested.
Don't mind telling you, I'd rather have you working with us than against us.
So would I.
It's a bargain, then. Anything you want to know?
What about the suicide?
Oh, that's a phony. The man didn't even have to go down.
I thought it might be. From now on, they're going to think that every thin man over 6 feet with white hair is Winan.
Do you think that Wynant did it?
Well, looks like he planned something. He shut up his apartment and his shop. But there's nothing yet to cinch it.
50 will get you 100 that he didn't do it.
Well, who's your candidate?
I haven't gotten that far yet. But I don't think everything points to Winan. What about the alibis?
They're all okay. Mrs. Winant, the boy, Dorothy, Macaulay, even Morelli. We had to let him go.
What about Jorgensen?
I'll check on that. I'm afraid this is a kind of dull for you, Mrs. Charles.
Dull? I'm sitting on the edge of my chair.
Well, frankly, I'm stumped. I don't know what to do next. What about you, Charles?
Me? No. But I have a hunch.
Oh, what is it?
I got a call last night. I thought it was from a crank. But it changed my mind. Whoever it was knew something. And I've got a feeling I'll hear from him again. What time is it?
Almost 10. Still waiting to hear from the crank?
Ring, ring, ring.
And how? And how? Wow. Here, give me that quick. Hello? Yes? Yes? This is Nick Charles. Who? Can't hear you. I said, I can't hear you. You'll have to speak louder.
I can't speak any louder. This is Nonheim again. You know, I called you last night. Hey, listen, are you still interested in that proposition? You are, huh? All right then. Now, here's the dope. And get this straight. The man who killed Julia Wolf is...
Oh, come on!
Extra.
Right, what a headline. What's this, Gil? You think Wynant killed Julia Wolf and Nunheim?
Right.
Why?
Two reasons. First off, Mimi Winant came across with the watch chain that she plucked out Julia's body.
So she did, huh?
It belonged to Klein Winant.
Yes, what's the second reason?
Pip, the bullet that killed Nunheim came from the same gun.
That's all right, Inspector.
Just all right. That's perfect. Clyde Winan is guilty for both of those murders.
Maybe.
What?
50 will still get you 100. I say Winet's innocent.
Well, you can say what you want, but I am spreading a dragnet for that guy over every town in these United States. And I'll get him, too.
Calling all cars, cover all roads leading to the city. Pick up a tall, thin man with white hair. Last seen wearing a dark black suit. Calling all cars.
You think they'll find him, Nick? He must be in New York.
Probably is.
Oh, it's getting me down. I saw Dorothy today.
Yeah, what?
She's broken off her engagement.
What for?
Don't ask me. She's a little hysterical. Something about not wanting to ruin her fiancé's life. Daughter of a murderer, all of that.
Poor kid. Well, see you later, darling.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm going to take Asta for a walk.
He's just been for a walk, as you can tell.
We're going sightseeing, aren't we, Asta?
What are you up to?
I've got a hunch. I'm going down to Winet's shop. I want to find out why it's closed.
Why should it be closed? He went away.
He went away a lot of times when I knew him, but he never closed his shop. I've got a hunch something is up.
You mean he might be hiding there?
I don't know. This thing's got my goat, and I've got to find out.
Nick, I won't have you going down there.
Say, you're the one who got me in this.
I know, but this is different. He's a crazy man. He might kill you.
I'll be all right. I've got Asta to protect me.
Just go on. See if I care. But it's a dirty trick bringing me all the way to New York just to make me a widow.
Oh, you wouldn't be a widow long.
You bet I wouldn't.
Not with your money.
You dog.
Goodbye, darling.
Nicky, take care of yourself, won't you?
Sure, I will.
Don't say it that way. Say it as if you meant it.
Well, I believe the little woman cares.
I don't care. I'm just used to you, that's all.
Sure. So long, darling. Come on, Asta.
Goodbye. Goodbye. And call me darling, please. I'll be waiting to hear from you. Asta! Asta! If you let anything happen to him, you'll never wag that tail again.
This is the Long Beach Playhouse something. We pause for station identification. Please donate. Yes, thank you. Please donate to the longbeachgives.org. And now, the Thin Man. Nick is on his way to Clyde Winant's deserted laboratory in a dark and desolate section of the city. His cab veers sharply around a corner, pulls up to the front of a gloomy, old, rickety building.
Say, mister, are you sure this is the place you wanted?
Looks like it. Come on, Asta. Jump. How much do I owe you?
$1.20. Do you want me to? You don't want me to wait?
No,
do you?
I don't. Thanks.
Okay, that's good because this ain't no neighborhood that you want to be at in 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I want to get out of here.
There you are.
Okay, thanks, and good luck.
Come on, Asta. Come on.
Hello?
Nora, what are you doing here?
I beat you down. I want to go with you, Nick.
Now, listen.
No, you're not going in that place alone. That settles it. And now, get out that skeleton key of yours and open that door. I'm here to stay.
All right, come on.
Nice neighborhood Winet's picked out for his laboratory. I can almost hear the chains rattling. You believe in ghosts, Nicky?
There we are. Come in. Be quiet.
Nick, it's awfully dark in here.
I'll get a flashlight on as soon as we close the door. Asta, shut up. Go on, Nora.
Which way?
Straight ahead. We've got to get the layout of the place.
Looks awfully big to me. You can't even see into the corners.
Don't let the shadows frighten you.
Who's frightened?
Hold it.
What's the matter?
It looks like Winet's work table.
More like a slab in a morgue. Look, Nick, there's a cement floor all around.
Yeah, come on.
Where to now?
There's an old desk up along the wall. I want to take a look at it.
What do you expect to find?
Darling, If I knew what I find, I wouldn't be looking.
What is it?
Just a new sport, I guess.
It sounds like, well, somebody's walking over that way.
No, just your imagination. There's nobody here but us.
No. What about Wynant? It is his workshop. Why couldn't he be hiding out here? What's that?
It's Asta. He's scratching on the cement around the workboard. Come here, boy. Asta, stop it. Stop it. Did you hear what I said, Asta?
Nick, look at him. He's after something. I've seen him scratch the ground like that when he was looking for
Asta, no, look at this. New cement. Listen.
Nick.
It's hollow. I wonder if I could find something to dig it up.
There's an iron bar on the table. I just saw it.
Ah, good.
Did you find your line there, darling?
Oh, I have a line. Ah, good boy. Now, if I could just dig a hole in the cement, we'll find out what's under there.
Oh, Nick, I'm scared.
Asta, quiet. Try to keep him away, Nora.
Asta, come here.
Still digging. Once more. There she goes. I'm through the cement. Asta, get away from me. Get. Oh!
Nick, what is it? What's he after?
Phew. We must get Inspector Guild here.
What's under there?
A body. Must have been there for weeks.
Oh, Nick.
Those reporters are enough to drive a guy nuts. Well, you were right, Nick. It was a body. Skeleton, rather. Buried in lime. I wonder what Wynant had against this one.
Did you find any clothes?
Yeah, but no identification on them. Just a silver belt buckle with the initials DWR.
DWR. Who was that?
I got an idea. That case you worked on. The guy who threatened to kill Wynant? What was his name?
Rosebreen.
Yeah, Rosebreen. Well, he said without Wynant trying to steal an invention.
Yes, but we figured it was just blackmail.
Just the same. Wynant wouldn't mind having him out of the way, would he? And according to the doc, the body's been here at least a couple of months.
That's just about the time Wynant closed the shop.
Right.
Did you put the skeleton through the fluoroscope yet?
Half an hour ago. We found the bullet he was killed with, and something in the leg bone. An old piece of shrapnel.
Shrapnel?
Yeah, why?
Shrapnel in the leg bone. He probably limped.
What do you mean?
Oh, nothing. Well, so long, Inspector. I've got to go get my wife. Take her home. It's been a long night.
So long. Give him my best, would you?
Right.
Nick, where are we going, Nick?
Back to the hotel, my sweet. Pack our bags and take a nice trip somewhere.
A trip? Oh, no.
Bless my soul, woman. I give you 3 murders and you're not satisfied.
I want you to stay and find Wynant.
I did find him.
What do you mean?
He was in the shop.
Nick?
It was his body that was buried there.
Nick, you better lay off the liquor.
That's a fact.
Wynant's body?
Yep.
But they all said it was Rosebreen's.
That's what they think. Guild and all of them. They take it for granted that it's just another of Wynant's victims. Guild's hot-footing it around looking for Wynant. That's all that troubles him.
What makes you so sure it's Wynant's body?
Several things.
Nick, you'll drive me crazy. Now tell me, what things? What things made you so sure?
Well, clothes, for instance. They were carefully preserved, and the body was just as carefully destroyed. The person who killed him counted on one thing, that skeletons all look alike.
Well, don't they?
Sure. I remembered that Wynant had some shrapnel in his shin. It often bothered him. They found it under the fluoroscope.
How long has he been dead?
Couple of months, anyhow.
Then he couldn't have committed those other murders.
Smart gal.
Wynant dead. Does Dorothy know?
No, nobody but you. I didn't even tell Gil.
Why not?
I want to lie low till I get the whole dope. I don't want to go off half-cocked.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to get the real murderer. I've got an idea. Want to see me take him?
Yes.
Got a nice evening dress?
Oh, I've got a Lulu. Why?
I'm going to give a party, invite all the suspects.
The suspects? They won't come.
Oh, they'll come. I'll have Guild issue the invitations.
What do you think did it?
Who?
Who do you think did it?
Oh, what?
Thank you, darling. Little cocktail, sorry. Who do you think did it?
Mimi.
Mimi?
Mimi Jorgensen, Morelli, I'll tell you, my dear. What were you doing on the 9th of June? Good evening, everybody.
Nick Charles, what is the meaning of this?
The meaning of what, Mimi?
Why were we all rounded up like common criminals and brought to the city?
To eat, Mimi, and talk. Will everybody please be seated? Dorothy here.
Oh, thank you.
And next to her, please.
Oh, but Mr. Charles,
Please.
Oh, very well.
Mimi on the other side of Andy. Mr. Jorgensen over there, please.
You're very kind, Mrs.
Oh,
Charles.
not at all. Mr. Macaulay next.
Of course.
Morelli.
What?
Right where you are.
Say, listen.
Sit down.
Uh,
Gilbert, can you just sit opposite of Ma?
Mr. Charles, I have a theory.
We'll listen to it later. Inspector Guild, you and your men will stand by the door, please.
Sure.
Fine. Now, Nora, you'll sit here by me.
You give such charming parties, Mr. Charles.
Thank you, Mrs. Charles. Now, we're all ready to begin.
Could you please pass the celery, Mrs. Wynant?
No, I will not. I demand to know why we are here.
Before dinner? All right. I've got some very important news. I've seen Wynant.
You did?
That's nothing. I saw him myself.
You did? Where?
Last night. He came to see me at my apartment.
Oh, did he? What did he say?
Well, he didn't say very much. Wanted to know how I was and how the children were.
I'm afraid you're lying, Mimi. You see, I really did see Wynant last night.
Are you kidding?
No,
Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you hold on to him?
because I found out for certain that he didn't commit the murders.
How is this possible?
All right, let him have his say.
Thank you. Morelli, you knew Julia. Was she jipping Wynant, taking dough on the sly?
well, she don't say she is, but I figure she is, yeah.
Thank you. Now, I'll tell you why I know Wynant didn't commit these murders. 3 months ago, Wynant found out that Julia was cheating him and splitting the dough with some man. He went to find the man, and he did. The man was desperate. He knew that he was caught dead to rights, and with prison staring him in the face, he took the only way out. He killed Wynant. It's a terrible way to tell you this, Dorothy, but your father is dead.
Dead?
He's been dead for 3 months.
Oh, dead? Oh.
Oh, darling, don't cry. Please, I know it's terrible. But isn't it really better this way?
Oh, Andy. You had better take her home, Andy.
Yes, Mrs. Charles. Come on, darling.
Let them out, Inspector.
Open up.
Don't cry, darling.
This is absurd. How can Clyde be dead? You said yourself you saw him last night.
So I did. I saw him lying buried in his shop.
You mean that body
Was Wynant's.
Perfectly absurd.
And the murderer is right here in this room tonight. He's sitting at the table.
You're not going to keep us in the dark, are you? What? Tell us, who is it?
I don't know. But I thought if we had this little get-together, we might be able to find out. I'll tell you as much as I know. Go right on eating. This murderer is a very clever man. He studied this thing out carefully. You'd understand that, wouldn't you, Gilbert?
What? Yes. No.
He planned the whole thing beautifully. After he killed Wynant, he wired Macaulay using Wynant's name and told him to shut the shop. He destroyed all of Wynant's clothing, with the exception of his watch chain. He figured that someday that might come in handy. He took Wynant's body and buried it in the shop with another man's clothes to throw off the track. He even put a belt buckle with the R on it. I was thinking that it might be Rosebreen, an old enemy of Wynant's, who dropped out of sight years ago. Morelli, would you mind holding your knife another way? You're starting to worry Gilbert.
Darling, if that knife is missing, I'll look for it in your back.
After our hero killed Wynant, he got a brilliant idea. He realized that he and Julia could still collect money. Wynant was supposed to be on a trip. No one knew where, so our dinner guest wrote letters to Macaulay signing Wynette's name so that Wynette would continue to send money to Julia. He even telephoned Macaulay. You remember Macaulay, the first day that he came to see me? He telephoned you that he was in town.
But it must have been Wynette. I should have known if it weren't his voice.
Oh, he was clever about that. He called you while you were out. That afternoon, Julia telephoned to him. She said that you were coming. Mimi to ask about Wynette. He got terrified. He was afraid that Julia would break down and tell. So he went to Julia and killed her and left Wynette's watch chain in her hand.
Is that true?
I don't know.
Why are you saying it?
It's the only thing that makes sense.
Well, I hope you're right.
His plan was still working beautifully. Wynette established as being in town. The watch chain was handed over with a slight delay to the police. The only hitch was a man named Nunheim who found out something. Our hero paid Nunheim once to keep his mouth shut, and when Nunheim threatened him again, he bumped him off. But our hero had just one weak link in his chain. The telegrams, wires, and telephones were all very well, but no one had seen Wynette. So he picked on poor Mimi here to strengthen his case. Mimi is the only one at the table who could tell us who the real murderer is. Mimi, who was it? Who told you to say you had seen Wynette?
Nobody told me. I did see him.
What did he pay you, Mimi, to stick to the story?
It isn't a story. It's true. I did see Wynette. He's not dead.
You're lying, Mimi, but then you'd do anything for money. You're getting good price for saying you saw Wynette, and you figure you won't get anything if he's dead.
I'm not going to stay here to be insulted.
Sit down. You're getting good price, Mimi, but don't forget, 2 other people were in it with him, Julia and Nunheim. When he thought they might spill something, he bumped them off. You ought to know darn well that he's not going to take any chances with you. What do you say? What do you want to do? Be next on his list?
No, no.
Then who is he? Who paid you the money?
Macaulay!
Why, you dirty little...
I think that'll hold him.
Boy, oh boy. What a wallop. Hey, nice work.
There's your man, Inspector, Mr. Macaulay.
I can't believe it.
What do you want me to do? Wrap him up in cellophane? Pick him up and get him out of here.
Come on, boys. Grab him.
Oh, Nick, you took him. I knew you would.
Yeah, another case like this, and I thought I was in a prize fight.
Oh, Nicky, you're grand. You're glorious.
I bet you say that to all the boys.
You have been watching The Thin Man, presented by the Long Beach Playhouse as part of Long Beach Gives. You can donate also to the Playhouse by going to longbeachgives.org and select the Long Beach Playhouse in the drop-down menu. You too can help support live theater here in Long Beach. Thank you very much. From the Lux Radio Studio, goodbye.
Can our wonderful cast stand up and take a bow, please? Thank you all so much for your fantastic performances. Thank you for attending our live radio play of The Thin Man. And for those watching online, thank you for watching. We did raise a couple $100 in this last hour, which is fantastic. If you haven't given yet, go online this evening and donate to the Long Beach Playhouse. And if you're free this evening, we've got our Pay What You Can preview for Frankenstein 1930. So again, thank you all so much for attending. Thank you for watching, and thank you, wonderful cast, for performing this afternoon. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Jane. Thank you.